This is Local 15 News.
The search continues tonight for those servicemen who were participating in a training exercise off the coast of Navarre Beach.
7 Marines and 4 Army National Guard soldiers are presumed dead tonight after an Army Blackhawk helicopter crashed in the water between Pensacola and Destin. Local 15's Christina Zverjanko begins our team coverage tonight.
She joins us now live with the latest on the investigation. Christina?
Kim, although it's been almost 12 hours since the helicopter crashed, we are told this is the very beginning of what is expected to be a very lengthy investigation. Not many details are being released on the incident, but here's what we were able to confirm. Contact was lost with this Army Blackhawk. Everyone on board of that helicopter is presumed to be dead.
There's always hope and optimism. We're still in search and rescue mode.
Well, we train in a number of different ways and with a different number of different scenarios. And these guys, the pilots and the crew and everybody involved are highly certified in what they do, and they take into every safety precaution.
Officials tell us that fog played a big role in last night's crash, and it continues to be a problem out here in Navarre. Let me take a step aside so you can take a look. What you're seeing right now, that's one of many command centers set up along Santa Rosa Sound here. You can see visibility for the crews remains very low. They are expected to remain here all through the night. And of course, we will be here too, and you can count on us to bring you the very latest live. Reporting in Navarre tonight, Christina Zverjanko, Local 15 News.
Christina, thanks. The recovery effort continues tonight along that 17-mile stretch. It's 3 miles wide in the Santa Rosa Sound.
Pieces of the chopper have been washing ashore along Navarre Beach throughout the day, and we want to warn you the pictures you're about to see may be disturbing.
Local 15's James Gordon joins us now with what debris has been recovered. James.
Well, Greg, the fog has been thick all day out here at this public boat ramp where law enforcement deployed several of their boats earlier today, 6 or 7 of those. Now, the search and rescue boats, they came and went with debris on board. Some of them came in empty-handed, but they go back out again. They were working the entire day. The debris field, as you said, is a large field. Even people living on the water have called law enforcement, many finding helicopter parts in their own backyards out here on Santa Rosa Sound. Now, it's been a long and drawn-out search, mainly because of the size of the debris field, an area of 17 miles. Soldiers, the victims of this tragic crash.
I'm heartbroken for the families, for all of the people that were affected today, and you know, I've got a Marine. I'm married to a Marine myself, and I couldn't imagine anything worse.
Now, the recovery also includes the gruesome task of recovering human remains. Some of those were brought here to this staging area. As you might imagine, for these first responders, it's been a very trying and a very difficult day. And a lot of them are going home tired tonight, but many of them will be coming back tonight and tomorrow to resume the search and recovery as quickly as possible. For now, we're live in Navarre. James Gordon, Local 15 News.
NBC News Chief Pentagon Correspondent Jim Miklaszewski joins us now. And Jim, I know that you have gleaned some information out of Louisiana that is really fresh and not many of us have heard yet.
That's right, Greg. It was pretty intriguing, if not tantalizing, and it was from the Army National Guard there in Hammond, Louisiana. They provided the helicopters and the 2 Army flight crews that flew both of those helicopters in what was supposed to be this military exercise. However, according to the spokesman there this afternoon, one of the helicopters, after it took off, decided that the weather was too inclement, apparently, turned back and landed safely back at the airfield. Now, why the second helicopter would have proceeded and then what happened to that helicopter is still a mystery at this point. There is a search effort underway for any possible remains that have not yet been recovered, and also pieces of the aircraft which will be reassembled in an effort to put together exactly why this helicopter went down. But I can tell you, based on what we know so far, this could be a real mystery that is going to take months to figure out.
Mick, you've been dealing with the Pentagon for decades, very experienced there, and have dealt with service members for many, many years. It is a very dangerous game. Even the training exercises, they're dealing with helicopters and jets and munitions. It's a very dangerous occupation, isn't it?
Particularly when you're talking about special operations forces. Those 7 Marines were special operations because you have to train as you would fight. And when those special ops helicopters go out on a mission, they don't fly at regular altitudes. They fly right down on the deck. They brush the trees. Over water, they will skim the waves because they want to avoid being detected by radar. Or when they fly over land, prevent anybody from taking a pot shot at them with an RPG or even an AK-47. So they fly in very dangerous conditions. Add to that the thick fog and low ceiling that hung over the waters there just off the Florida Panhandle coast last night, and you've got a very slim margin for error.
NBC News Chief Pentagon Correspondent Jim Miklaszewski. Thanks for your insight, Mick.
Absolutely, Greg. Take care.
Well, those crews behind today's recovery efforts were met with overwhelming support from the community.
Local 15's Stephen Quinn joins us now with how people are reaching out to help others following this tragedy. Stephen?
Kim, in any way possible. That has been the motto of the people here in the Navarre community as they have been trying to help out since news first broke about this overnight, and that was evidenced by the fact of the recreational boaters that were out in the Sound this morning, officials having to tell them, asking them and urging them to stay away, of course, coming in there trying to help in any way possible, do anything they can. And while the air is thick with doubt right now as to the fate of those service members, there is one thing that this community is holding on to more than anything else.
There's always hope. There's always hope.
As word spread throughout the community, residents from the town of Navarre held on to that hope and sprang into action.
I've got people calling me on the phone and coming through drive-through and things like that and wanting to know what they can do to help, if we've heard of anything that they can do to help.
That was the exact question asked by Brianne Schreiner's 8-year-old daughter.
There's a lot of men and women looking for our soldiers. I'm sure they need fed.
And with that, Schreiner did her best to answer her daughter's call. She says she knows others in Navarre would do the same.
If it was my husband out there, I wish that the community and everybody involved would do everything that they can to help the families and our soldiers and Marines who are missing.
More than 9,400 active military are currently stationed at Eglin Air Force Base. Their impact on the community is evident.
There's a lot of it in the community that were retired military. It's a military community.
Community saying if you see any remains along the shoreline to call the number you see on your screen there, 850-884-7464, extension for that number there. Again, if you see any kinds of debris there along the shoreline. And as I mentioned at the beginning there, Kim and Greg, this is a community that remains hopeful that there might be a miracle in the search that is continuing right now in Navarre. Reporting live here, Stephen Quinn, Local 15 News.
Well, Stephen, thank you. As mentioned earlier in this newscast, weather may have played a role in the crash. Local 15's Chief Meteorologist Derek Beasley is in the Weather Center with just how foggy conditions were prior to the crash. Derek?
Well, Kim, we did see visibilities drop quickly between about 6:55 and 8:55 p.m. And this is pretty much the scene here down at Perdido Key. This was the scene across much of Northwest Florida at the beaches throughout last night, and visibility's down to close to zero at times. Now, here's a look at some of the observations from the automated reporting station at Eglin Air Force Base. And what I've highlighted there is a time period between 6:55 p.m. and 8:55. You can see the visibility in miles and the sky conditions there. And what you're seeing is basically a significant drop from 2-mile visibility at 6:55 down to 3/4 of a mile visibility at 7:55 down to a half mile at 8:55. And not only that, you had the cloud bases that were also lowering as well. So with low ceilings, dense fog, certainly no surprise that they were facing difficult conditions trying to pilot that helicopter last night.
All right, thank you, Derek. Training in unfavorable conditions is nothing new for military personnel.
Local 15's Madupe Dowu spoke with pilots about what it's like to fly in fog.
Well, it's quite difficult. You know, even driving in the fog is no fun. So you can imagine the conditions those servicemen experienced last night. It was dark and it was foggy. And what you're looking at right now is video from this afternoon. I was actually on I-10 crossing the Bayway. You can't really see much of anything over the Bayway. And pilots I spoke to say when you're flying in these types of conditions, you must fly by instruments because of a whiteout, which is what you're looking at right now. You really can't rely on what you're seeing, so you have no sense of depth, no concept of depth, and you really have to rely on the equipment, which is really tough, according to the pilots that we spoke to earlier, Kim and Greg.
It's tough to drive in. Can't even imagine having to try to fly in that.
Exactly. And one of the pilots explained to me was that when you're flying by instrument, sometimes you can tend to doubt it, and you can feel as though you're at the correct altitude or you're ascending, but you really could be going nose down, and you don't find out until it's too late.
They were very experienced pilots, but
Yes.
even experienced pilots have those kind of difficulties, and it's unfortunate.
Correct. And we'll have to wait to see, what actually happened.
Yeah, all right, Madupe, thanks. Some of our nation's leaders are speaking out following today's news.
Yeah, reaction from Congressman Bradley Byrne next.
Check out the Mobile Bay Harley-Davidson Feature Bike of the Week.
Shop over 400 trucks marked with upfront pricing and zero dealer fees from Mullinax Ford. Upfront pricing, no dealer fees, and a huge selection of trucks. That's easy. That's Mullinax. Online at MullinaxFordMobile.com or in store, Airport Boulevard, West Mobile.
I'm the protector of my patio. Killing weeds where they grow. A barrier forms so weeds can't appear. Serious weed prevention up to a year.
Roundup Max Control 365.
So I'm fighting weeds on opening day and preventing weeds while I get away. Weeds stay dead as we carve this beast, and they still aren't back when I cook this feast.
Roundup Max Control 365.
One more time, let me make it clear. With no more weeds, it's your year.
A difficult economy, a poor job market, huge medical bills, or a divorce. There could be many reasons causing you serious financial problems, but there is help. Thousands of people file for bankruptcy each year to eliminate their debt and get a fresh start.
I'm attorney Stephen L. Klimczak. Regardless of the cause of your financial troubles, bankruptcy may be an option worth considering.
Call Stephen L. Klimczak right now, 694-0600.
Are you still wondering who is Hill Kelly in Pensacola?
It's the people and the organizations we care so much about.
I'm Hill Kelly.
I'm Hill Kelly.
I'm Hill Kelly. I'm Hill Kelly.
I'm Hill Kelly.
I'm Hill Kelly.
I'm Hill Kelly.
We're all Hill Kelly.
It's Ram Truck Month at Hill Kelly in Pensacola. For a new Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, or Ram, see us today.
Stop by the Local 15 studios at 661 Azalea Road in Mobile to pick up your copy of the 2015 Local 15 Weather Almanac.
What's the best time each year to buy a new boat? The annual Mobile Boat Show at the Mobile Convention Center, Friday through Sunday, March 13th through 15th, with Best of the Year. Show prices on a huge selection of 2015 boats, personal watercraft, and marine accessories. It's the place to be if you're even thinking about a purchase in 2015. With on-site financing and package deals, don't miss the boat. The Mobile Boat Show, that is, Friday through Sunday, March 13th through 15th at the Mobile Convention Center. Visit GulfCoastShows.com for details.
Visit MullinaxFordMobile.com for upfront pricing, no dealer fees, and a huge selection of used cars and trucks. Join the generation who never paid a dealer fee. Mullinax Ford, 7311 Airport Boulevard, Mobile.
Well, the helicopter that went down last night was a UH-60 Blackhawk helicopter. We have a model of one right here on the desk. Now, this type of helicopter has really been a workhorse for the military. It's been in operation since the late 70s.
Yeah, its primary mission is as a trooper carrier as well as search, rescue, and evacuation. More than 2,000 UH-60 Blackhawks are in service with the U.S. military, and they have logged more than 4 million flight hours.
This includes a diverse range of combat missions in Grenada, Panama, and in the liberation of Kuwait, Somalia, Afghanistan, and several rescue missions in Bosnia. Now, to get a better idea of the aircraft's specs, the chopper's maximum capacity is 14, a pilot, co-pilot, crew chief, and 11 fully equipped troops.
Its armaments include 16 missiles, 2 machine guns, and mine dispensers. It has a maximum speed of 184 miles per hour and a range of about 505 miles. Our nation's leaders, including Alabama Congressman Bradley Byrne, are speaking out following last night's crash.
Yeah, Byrne is a member of the House Armed Services Committee, so he is very familiar with military operations, including training missions in this country. Local 15's Lauren Sarchapone joins us now with more on this part of the story. Lauren?
Now, the first thing Congressman Byrne told me was this is a terrible loss for the servicemen and their families. According to the country, our leaders are saying they're praying for the family and friends of these military members.
7 Marines and 4 soldiers are presumed dead after training in a helicopter.
They knew they were taking on a risk,
But that doesn't in any way take away from the incredible grief that their families and their friends feel, and for the loss that this country has suffered because we've lost them. And my heart goes out to them.
General Martin Dempsey, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, says this is a reminder that military men and women put themselves at risk, even when they're not in combat.
My personal thoughts and prayers to those of the Secretary of Defense at the loss of the folks on that helicopter.
With me, our thoughts and prayers are with them and their families as the search and rescue continues.
Alabama Congressman Bradley Burns says Blackhawk helicopters are expensive, ranging anywhere from $11 to $21 million apiece. They're also designed to minimize the impact on human life aboard the aircraft if it goes down.
Work very hard to make sure they're adequately maintained, and I'm sure this helicopter was as well. But sometimes even good helicopters that are properly maintained with the right people piloting them, sometimes they still malfunction.
The search and rescue of these military members continues.
We will work with the services to ensure those survivors, or I should say their family members, will be well cared for.
Now, Burns says hundreds of military aircrafts are flown every day, and the military has a good safety record. He says that's not to say something particular happened here, but if it did, it's a lesson we need to learn from. Live in the newsroom, Lauren Sargapone, Local 15 News.
Well, the rain chances aren't over yet. The latest on what to expect heading into the weekend coming up.
A wheelchair used as a weapon?
How did his foot end up in a cast?
Judge Judy. Tomorrow at 4, followed by Local 15 News.
When La-Z-Boy has its trade-in sale, it's more like a trade-up sale. Trade in, save more on recliners and chairs, that perfect sofa, or a family-friendly sectional. Plus special financing. La-Z-Boy Furniture Galleries. Live life comfortably.
Hi. Hi. I see here on my glasses that it's your sales event.
Yeah, we have low APR financing and some great lease offers. Check out the bold new Camry.
Wow, that's really nice. I got to get a closer look. Wow, there's so much stuff.
Careful.
If I could just see where I was going.
Right now at Toyota's One for Everyone sales event. Get a low 0% APR for 48 months on a new 2015 Toyota Camry. That's just 0% APR.
Now this is cool.
That's easy to see.
Toyota, let's go places.
Richard Alfari and Associates has been able to work around my busy schedule and still get me the settlement I deserve. Their family firms helped me throughout my past 3 years in business.
Call, come by, or check out our free injury app on the App Store.
Richard Alfari and Associates, a family firm for your legal needs.
Meet the Toomeys. Like the Kubota equipment they sell, the Toomeys have a long history in our community of a trusted name and doing business on a handshake. Right now, get special offers you'll only find at Toomey Equipment, like the Commander zero-turn mower for $38.99, or an L-Series tractor complete with cutter, box blade, and trailer, all for just $14,995. And as a way of giving back to the community, the Toomeys will donate $100 toward the charity of your choice with any Kubota equipment purchase. So no matter your equipment needs, Toomey Equipment is your Kubota dealer.
Stay connected with Local 15 24/7 on local15tv.com, Facebook, and Twitter.
At Baldwin Heating and Air, our customers are number one. With over 30 years of providing excellent customer service, you can count on us for all your heating and air conditioning needs. Let our experienced staff keep you cool this summer with our annual service checks for only $59. Call us today.
If you desire reliability, performance, and luxury, then add Buick to the top of your list. As Consumer Reports just did, experience Buick excellence with extraordinary lease offers from Chris Myers Buick GMC, 2015 Encore or Verano, just $189 a month for 24 months, or take a flat $4,000 off. Get 2 years of maintenance, Sirius XM, OnStar, and 4G Wi-Fi at no charge. Plus, take a test drive and you could win $1,000. Get more luxury. Spend less money. Chris Myers Buick GMC in Daphne.
When La-Z-Boy has its trade-in sale, it's more like a trade-up sale. Trade in, save more on recliners and chairs, that perfect sofa, or a family-friendly sectional. Plus special financing. La-Z-Boy Furniture Galleries. Live life comfortably.
Save thousands of dollars at American Flooring and Cabinets.
Open 8 to 8, so don't be late.
Local 15 weather with Chief Meteorologist Derek Beasley.
And it continues to be just a soupy mess out there, right?
It really does.
Rain, rain, rain.
Yeah.
Want it to go away.
Eventually it will, but we've got a couple more days of these pesky showers around the way. And by the way, we're going to have more fog again for tonight. Here's a look at live pinpoint Doppler. Now, we've been tracking rain throughout the day today. Now, most of it's been to our west and to our north, so we really haven't seen anything widespread. Well, we've had a few storms that have popped up this afternoon. You see them fizzling out there in Baldwin County, and we're seeing a few more trying to pop up near the Perdido River there. And again, we're going to continue to see chances for rain here for the next few days, as this pattern just will not go away. Now, here's a live, not a live look, but this is pretty much what it looks like now. But this is a time lapse from this morning and this afternoon down at Gulf Shores. That's the fog. You can't see a thing out there, as visibilities have been dropping down to about 0 at times, and that dense fog advisory in effect for the coastal areas for tonight. So if you're going to be out driving, just like last night, you need to take precautions and be careful of that. It looks like the worst visibility is near the coast, but we do expect the entire area to gradually see those visibilities drop here later on this evening into tonight. At 70 degrees right now in Mobile, 76 Crestview, 69 in Pensacola, so not quite as warm as we were yesterday. We didn't see as much sunshine, and I think we'll probably end up right around that way for tomorrow, generally into the middle 70s for highs. We're going to keep an eye on this right here. There's some rain coming in associated with a low pressure area over the western Gulf, and this rain may try to rotate its way up into Mobile here by 10 o'clock tonight. We're going to keep an eye on it. It does have enough eastward extension that some of this may actually try to move over the area tonight. Pinpoint predictor doesn't think so. It keeps most of the rain out to the west, but I would not be surprised if some of that rain you see out over the Gulf tries to push inland here through tonight. So we're going to keep rain chances in the forecast tonight. Kind of a foggy, soupy mess with a little wet weather. Same thing here again for tomorrow and Friday. It does look like, though, by this weekend, we're going to start to see a shift in the weather pattern and get some drier air in here. And at this point, I think at the earliest that we're going to see some full sunshine probably won't be till about Sunday or Monday once we get this soupy mess out of here. Forecast for tomorrow calls for fog throughout the morning, and we may even see it extend into the afternoon. So don't be surprised, 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we're still stuck in dense fog like we are now. And temperatures into the middle 70s with chances for showers and storms. Here's your 7-day forecast, and you see those rain chances continue through Friday. Very small chance on Saturday, but I think it'll be pretty much over with by the weekend. And temperature is cranking back up. We could even see highs around 80 by next week with sunshine this time.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about, 80 and sunshine.
So we just got to get through the next few days. I think next week will be much better.
All right.
Thank you, Derek.
I want to say hello to Ashley Banks tonight. She's our Facebook friend of the day. Ashley lives in Mobile. She is a Saints fan, and she likes watching Local 15 News.
Congratulations, Ashley, on your 4 tickets to the Boat and Yacht Show coming up at the Wharf on March 20th through the 22nd. So easy to be our Facebook friend of the day. Just like our page and click the Inside Local 15 tab to register. We are continuing to follow the very latest following the tragic crash of an Army Blackhawk helicopter during training exercises last night.
How you can stay updated throughout the evening, that's next.
Download the Local 15 weather app today. Search WPMI-WX in your app store.
It's your time to seize the moment. Only at Palmer's Hyundai Seize the Moment sales event.
Snag the 2015 Hyundai Sonata for 0% APR for 60 months and get up to $1,000 bonus cash.
Sign up for your own before time runs out at Hyundai Seize the Moment sales event. Only at Palmer's Hyundai.
Just when you thought you had the best, there's better. The new Hustler Raptor. Heavy-duty welded steel deck. Professional grade cut quality. Premium Kawasaki power. All from just $27.99. This changes everything.
Dennis! Time to put your toys away.
The new Raptor series from Hustler. Tools, not toys.
The Eastern Shore Chamber of Commerce proudly presents the 63rd Annual Arts and Crafts Festival in beautiful downtown Fairhope. An enduring tradition each spring with free entry takes place Friday through Sunday, March 20th through the 22nd. Friday and Saturday 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. The Arts and Crafts Festival is a unique celebration of spring in the arts, featuring over 230 exhibitors. Don't miss this time-honored event. Shuttle service available. Call 928-6387 or visit our website for more information.
This is what you might find at their new car sale. And this is what you'll find at Auto Nation. When it comes to sale prices, we don't clown around.
During the 2015 award season event, shop over 100 new Wranglers and save up to $4,000 off MSRP. Who you gonna call? Auto Nation! Auto Nation Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Mobile. I-65 and Government Boulevard.
The fact is, most people pay less at Auto Nation.
When you look good, you feel good. At Aesthetics and Weight Loss, our goal is to help you do both. With laser hair removal, brown spot removal, and acne treatments, our focus is to enhance the natural beauty of our patients. And we've helped hundreds of local people lose thousands of pounds and keep it off. Our hormone therapy can improve your overall health, slow the aging process, increase mood, and increase sexual desire. No matter your goal this year, Aesthetics and Weight Loss has the knowledge and experience to help you achieve success.
It's your time to seize the moment. Only at Palmer's Hyundai Seize the Moment sales event.
Snag the 2015 Hyundai Elantra SE for $139 a month.
Sign up for your own before time runs out at Hyundai Seize the Moment sales event. Only at Palmer's Hyundai.
Check out the Mobile Bay Harley-Davidson Feature Bike of the Week.
Stay connected with Local 15 24/7 on local15tv.com, Facebook, and Twitter.
Well, you may remember it was 3 years ago last week an MH Coast Guard helicopter went down in the Mobile Bay, killing the 4 guardsmen on board.
Petty Officer Fernando George, Lieutenant Commander Dale Taylor, Lieutenant J.G. Tom Cameron, and Petty Officer 3rd Class Drew Knight all lost their lives when the helicopter went down during a training mission.
A memorial bearing the names and faces of the 4 men now stands at the Coast Guard Aviation Training Center in Mobile.
Remember, you can stay connected with Local 15 even when we are not on air. You can find the very latest surrounding this tragedy on any of the platforms you see on your screen.
And of course, more fog and more rain heading our way.
Yeah, it looks like we do start to clear out a little bit by the weekend. So plan on more rain chances tomorrow and Friday, and as Greg mentioned, more fog. But things get a little better here the weekend and the next week.
All right, Derek, thanks so much. That's all for Local 15 News at 6.
Yeah, in the meantime, for another look at your 7-day forecast and tonight's top stories, be sure to go to local15tv.com.
We'll see you at 10.